From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LALATE, as guess who's back with your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In today's recording, we go over the breaking news about that recon, a fourth stimulus recon, the Build Back Better Act that is still in the Senate. We're going to go over the latest details, the new comments, the major vote, and all the breaking details that are happening new this morning from Capitol Hill. I'll have all those incredible details in today's live recording direct from Santa Monica, California, as that recon has passed and is now in the Senate. But now a major vote is set for the next few days, and it could be big for the recon. I'll explain what this vote is. It's new details that's coming in this big, bold January 14th, 2022. The programs in this recon so far pay at least $15,000 in checks. I'll go over the latest details on that. Then we'll be turning to the exciting details of third stimulus, still paying out about $45,000 in checks. And it's a new year, and I'm going to show you how to get more money of that right now. Then we'll be turning to the student loan debt forgiveness. Will the Democrats take the offer on the table that's been sitting there for a while, or will they hold out for more? It's a 2022 approach to the situation. I have the latest details on Mornings. Then the big COLA raise came in starting January 1. Have you gotten it? If you haven't, I'll explain to you what it means, 5.9%. Then we'll be turning to this stimulus and all the incredible details you need to know across the board. It's great to be with you. It's great to be here. I'm live with you. I'm direct here in Santa Monica, California. Everything's wonderful, except there's no darn bacon here. There's just no darn bacon. You know, you can't wish for everything in life, but I will still try my efforts across the board, because guess what? The toast is toasted, the butter is buttering, the coffee is brewing, and the bacon, so well, you know, we have digital bacon. For now, that'll suffice. It's a big, bold, beautiful morning. I'm excited you're here. Let's get to it, and it starts right here, right now. Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's good and hope you are great. I'm back in shape. Joe Manchin gave me some coal to shovel overnight. Joe Manchin from West Virginia gave me some coal to shovel, so I feel in shape now. We're going to go over the Senate changes in the recon that is now in the Senate. What's going on? New comments from the White House just today, just this 14th, about the Build Back Better Act. I'll have the latest details. The fifth stimulus and fourth stimulus and third stimulus all come in this recording. But first, with fourth stimulus, $15,000 of checks. I'm going to go over all the latest details on that. Then we'll be turning to the incredible money across the board that is available still from third stimulus and how you can get more money of this. If you watched last night's evening's LALATE, a live show, it was an hour long, and boy, I had a lot of information about how to get more sums of money right now under third stimulus. I'm going to touch back on that as well. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that. Fifth stimulus, the latest details on that coming up in this recording. We have new economic data that came out minutes ago. This is big. This is Friday morning's economic data. It is shocking. I have the latest details on that. Plus, the banking corporations are reporting earnings, and they say this is not, folks, going to be 2020. We're still not looking even at 2019 numbers. Of the latest details on that. Those details and more in a big live broadcast. I'm excited you're here. I'm excited I'm with you, and I'm excited you are safe, happy, and smiling. And so go under this video right now and hit that subscribe button. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button. You are watching LALATE, the #3 most watched financial news channel in America, covering all the incredible financial news you need to know. Just hit that subscribe button. Join and become a member to get that incredible newsletter. It comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system, which is totally free. If you haven't signed up for those LALATE alerts, it's totally free. Its link is also in the description. Hit that right now. All those incredible details are under the video. Subscribe, become a member, and be part of this incredible family. So many details across the board in a big big, bold, beautiful morning. I'm excited you're here. Let's go right into the incredible details. As Omicron, which we had first seen on right after Thanksgiving, spreading across the country, new push across the board to get this incredible recon done. And let's go over all the details of that incredible recon. It passed in the House back in late 2021, sent to the Senate. The Senate has still not added the changes in there that they want to add in there, but so far there's at least about $15,000 of checks in this incredible recons across the 3 clusters and 2 add-ons. Let's go over each of those clusters of checks, starting with the first one right now. Hazard pay, $4,000 of elder care. So they're extending hazard pay for 1 more year for my essential workers that earn income tax credit. $4,000 for elder care, $4,000 of care for young children. The CTC, which is now expired, but they're extended under this recon, $3,600 approximately, for children 17 approximately years or age or younger. They have home repairs if you live in a low-income community. They got also a lot of other incredible items in there, but one of the first add-ons comes from the illustrious Maxine Waters, and that add-on was money to go buy your first home. Yeah, you're hearing me right. That this is money to buy your first home, a single-family residence. How it's defined, we've always had a question mark about it. We'll see it as we get close to the finish line. She wanted to give you $25,000. She got a little bit less, but it's still delicious. Viewers like Ryan Linglen, very excited about this provision. I am excited for you as well. Let's go. That second cluster of checks got in there. Home repairs and paid leave. So this is weatherize your home. It's not the holiday season, but you have to weatherize your home in case Joe Manchin drives up with that Maserati. Lock the gate. Lock the gate. You'll see it coming down the street. Or if Mitch shows up with lobsters trying to dance at the front porch, lock the gate quickly. They got paid leave in there. There's a lot of money. Paid leave is $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. If you make $35,000 or more per year, it's $800 a week. If you make $15,000 or more per year, it's $400 a week, up to 4 weeks per year. Wow, it's a lot of money. Now, let's go over what is also in that second cluster. They also got the child care, the paid family leave, the universal pre-kindergarten got in there. Tuition-free community college, of course, was removed. Then the second add-on comes from the illustrious Bob Casey. He got that provision in there, and it's $250 billion of free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. It's incredible. Then we go to that third cluster of checks, and that's where we have a lot of moolah. Lots of moolah, a lot of provisions. You're ready? Here we rock and roll. This is the third cluster, and here we go. We have free school meals for all checks. We have tax break checks. We have also cheaper prescription medication, immigration reform removed by the parliamentarian right before Christmas. Remember that one? That was removed. Then they have the money for the farmers. They also have the free internet. They also have the money for the seniors with the hearing. They did not get in there yet dental or vision. Those are provisions that Bernie Sanders wants to add across the board. And that's sort of par for course of what we're looking at right now. When we had the House, they got in their hearing, but Bernie says we have to add dental and vision. There's everything that Bernie needs to add in there. There's everything that Ron Wyden needs to add in there. There's everything that Liz Warren needs to add in there. Did they ever get to adding those provisions in there? No. They sort of pulled over to the sidelines and waited because the Senate changes have still not been added across the board. And those Senate changes will be robust. And among the provisions which they did not get to add in there just yet, because they didn't get to the subject matter just yet, of course, is MSC, monthly IRS stimulus check. What does that stand for? That stands for a check that is sent out by IRS. What they have talked about is $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for up to 6 months. Single individual, $75,000 less, gets it. Married couple, $150,000 less, gets it. Double it. Family of 4 gets it. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security or railroad benefits, you would get as well. Same payout as a third stimulus check. It's not income. It's offered nationwide. This is not state stimulus. This is a national broadcast you're watching here from LALATE. The legislators first told the viewers of this channel back in the month of May that they would put it in there. Senators, countless senators, telling thousands of viewers that they would put it in there. Then we continue to advocate across the board, day in, day out, from May all the way into December, when I became hospitalized for 3 weeks. We continue to advocate, and you continue to advocate even when I was not with you. Great job. They have received over 3 million as of October, phone calls from the Purple Power, we are now over 5 million. We have eclipsed the incredible petition. We have brought in far more than the American petition on advocacy. That is why you need to continue to advocate across the board. They now have a total between congressional census offices receive more contacts of advocacy for the LA Purple Power than the number of signatures in the American petition. So when anyone talks about the American petition and you're a Purple Power member or if you're a subscriber, you want to give a side-eye look and sort of a sarcastic look. It's like, hello, we're doing bigger than the American petition. We are much bigger than the American petition because we are the Purple Power. You have delivered a lot more advocacy than even that petition. This is what the chief of staff to the number one guy in the recon says about the situation. And everyone has a better understanding of what's going on because of the voice of the people across the nation in LALATE, as you have become too loud to be ignored. They have better understanding the number of signatures in a petition because people have picked up the phone from this channel, called the legislators, explained your situation. Everyone has a unique situation, and your situation may be different today in January 2022 than it was in December. Pick up the phone and tell your situation, financial, economic, medical, community, state, city, whatever the situation is, because it gives them a level of understanding. They have heartbreaking stories, and the voice of the people across the nation, you as allied, has just become too loud to be ignored. Please continue your encouragement for the continued advocacy as a professional voice of the people until this becomes law. And what's important to understand is that you need to pick up the phone and give them a reminder, because remember, they're not calling a vote on this recon today or tomorrow, but they still need to hear from you. They still need to hear from you so that they know you still need it. And who do you advocate to? Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. These are the senators who have told thousands of viewers this channel over the last few months it's going in there. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Thousands, tens of thousands of viewers have been told by these senators it would go in there. When would it go in there? When they write it up, and they have not finished writing it up on the Senate side. Now, we're not talking about the vote-a-rama. It's even before the vote-a-rama. We're not even at bill format yet. So a lot of details coming up the second half of this video. We're going to go over more about where that Build Back Better Act is. I have new comments from the White House that came in just minutes ago. We'll be looking then as to what's happening with the incredible third stimulus, how you can get big money, why Omicron spreading across the board is so important for getting the big money from third stimulus, fourth stimulus, and we'll be turning to fifth stimulus as well. Then I have new financial data about what's happening on Capitol Hill, and of course, the big exciting details of a new vote coming from Schumer in just a few days. This vote is big for your recon. I'll explain what it means, how it's teed up, and the latest comments and more. It's coming up after the commercial break. I'm excited you're with me. You're watching me live, direct from Santa Monica, California, on January 14th, 2022. The second half of this video comes back in just a second. But first, here's a little bit about the community page.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now in the second half of a live broadcast from Santa Monica, California of Mornings LA, the first one of 2022 from my return back on air. I have all the incredible details about this fourth stimulus recon, third stimulus recon, and fifth stimulus recon in today's recording. The Senate change is going to go over more about that in the second half of this recording. Then we'll be turning to the big money still in that fourth stimulus, about $15,000 in checks, but no time and place to wait for that because third stimulus is paying out lots more money. Even in 2022, I'm going to explain to you how to get this money. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that, plus the breaking details about this stimulus. And then, of course, the big bold news today about a major vote happening in just a few days. This is huge. It's coming from Chuck Schumer. And then we have the latest details of what the White House said minutes ago about the Build Back Better Act, which, of course, is the fourth stimulus recon. So much details, so much excitement, so much love, and so much happiness. I'm excited you're here, so go into this video right now and hit that subscribe button. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button. It's after the LALATE alerts, totally free. The link is under the description of this video. Become a member today so you get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. You're watching LALATE live from Santa Monica, America's #3 most watched financial news channel. On a Friday morning, we're airing a little bit earlier today. I know it's about 8:30 on the West Coast, so we're about 30 minutes earlier on broadcast time. Throughout the day, you're going to see me back on air, sometimes taped, sometimes live. The scheduling is different because of so many appointments I have to make for checkups, because I was hospitalized for 3 weeks. The way you know if the show is new is you look for the poinsettia plants. Poinsettia or poinsettia? We're debating the pronunciation here. So look for these poinsettia plants. That'll indicate it is a new broadcast. They are... So they look great, don't they? Look great. They look wonderful. And if I change the plans, I will tell you. I will not punk you. You'll be like, wait a second. This is a new set. Did he change the set again? So I will tell you if I change the set. I may be changing it by Sunday. But here we go. In the second half of this video, we have so much going on. I'm excited you're with me, and let's go over all the incredible details. When we look at this incredible recon and the Build Back Better Act, there is so much going at issue today. And the nuances, the elements are very, very fascinating. What's going on first is the following. One, will the Build Back Better Act survive? Will the fourth stimulus recon, Build Back Better Act, BBB, will it survive in 2022? You could certainly run a quote or an article search at any point, and there's always going to someone say it's dead. It's never going to come back. It's never going to survive. Not really the case. Will it become something else? No. Will it be modified? Yes. Will it be called for a vote and be passed tomorrow? No, it's not going to be passed tomorrow. But the great news is that they are trying to tee up something right before it to make BBB better. Now, there's a series of quotes out today. I'll read you the quotes so you know they're out there. Here is first a quote from White House spokesperson Andrew Bates, great guy. He says, when asked whether the Build Back Better Act, fourth stimulus recon, social spending bill, whatever you want to call that thing, will it survive? Is it still going forward? He says yes. He said that the White House has not changed course. It will get passed, and they're still making every effort to get it done and become a law as soon as possible. There's a brand new quote just minutes ago. Every major economic bill we've passed, like the American Rescue Plan, which was third stimulus. Trying to remember which one that was. That was third stimulus. That was January 2021. And the bipartisan infrastructure law, that is the roads and bridges, that was the infrastructure. That was fall 2021. He says has seen ups and downs and required doing the work while turning out noise. I like that. I like that. We talked about that a lot on this channel. Noise. A lot of the noise was Democrats versus Democrats, trash talking each other in the media. And that's turning down the noise, taking it out of equation. It's hard for you and I when they turn down the noise. I'll tell you why. I think you sort of know. When they turn down the noise, we don't have updates, inherent updates, because the only way you know what's changed is if someone tells you. So a news reporter asking Bernie, what's the change? Liz, what's the change? Liz Warner, what's the change? What's new? We are code silent because we do not want to trash talk each other. And so it does cause an issue of news update blackout in a way because they're turning down the noise. But here we go. They're turning down the noise, but they're also giving us an update. So this is the great way Andrew Bates has done this, White House spokesperson. He's not, he is top level. He's the Teal Monsters secondhand man. And he says, we're getting it passed. We're just turning down the noise level. Now, let's go to Capitol Hill. Let's talk about someone on who's a senator or a representative, not a White House official. This is a different type of equation. So Representative Susan Wild, who's Democrat of Pennsylvania, says we need to be working on Plan B right now of what we would do if the Build Back Better falls apart completely. So this is example why I'm reading you a quote. This is a Democrat, and she's a House member who already passed it. And she's saying if something falls apart, we have to have a Plan B. So I want you to know these type of people are out there. Negative, yeah. Sort of altruistic, looking out for themselves. Yeah, she's basically saying if Build Back Better falls apart, I need to have something to protect my political career. Oh, good, honey. Good, honey. I appreciate that. That's not how we focus on this channel, but I do want you to know those quotes are out there. I don't want us to get in a situation, here's another quote that she has. I don't want us to get in a situation where we're trying to advance individual bills that quite frankly don't have a chance to succeed. Wow, a lot of negativity from this person. Who is she? Just quote after quote after quote of negativity. I hope we don't fail. And maybe if we do fail, we have a backup if we fail. And oh, good. Pennsylvania. I think she needs some Philly cheesesteaks or something to cheer her up. That's the same thing as knocking your head against the wall. No, it's the same thing as being a little bit too pessimistic in life. Here is Dick Durbin, who I like a lot. You know, I like him. He's Democrat from Illinois. He says, we're going to get it done. We're not going to be able to deliver everything we want. We already know that. I mean, the recon, forced stimulus recon is very robust, and we already know things are going to get removed. But that's not to say it's not going to fall apart. And so that's a very different type of quote. There you go. So I'm very, very excited for you. Let's go just for a quick second over to some financial data that came in minutes ago. It's Friday. I did not have the unemployment numbers for you yesterday because I went on air late in the day, but I want to give you some new economic data that came in minutes ago. Consumer spending numbers came in minutes this morning, and LALATE has the financial data for you right now. Retail sales declined 1.9% in December, lower than initially thought it would drop. Weak online sales are responsible for the issue. So people were buying less for even online sales. Even amidst the spread of the pandemic, Omicron, where you think people would be buying more things online. Import prices declined month after month, the first decrease since August. So what are we looking at? What's bringing these numbers down? Consumer Price Index rose less than 0.5% for the month, but year over year, its gain was several percent, the highest since June of 1982. So Consumer Price Index, that's how much it costs for goods. Let's go to some more data on that. Wholesale pricing. So wholesale pricing rose 9.7% over a 12-month period. That is the best. That's the highest number since 2010. Now, where is the hit coming in the strongest across the board? This is all important numbers you need to know because it impacts your wallet, it impacts your recon, it impacts your financial independence, it impacts your business, it impacts your retirement. You need to know these numbers. So online spending took its biggest hit. Furniture, home furnishings dramatically declined. Restaurants and hospitality posted a 41% annualized gain, but other things were not as strong. Now, one of the things that we went over yesterday, which was when I was live on air on Evenings LA, was that the inflation number came in for December. Now, remember, when we're looking at some of these numbers, they're delayed 1 month out. So we're in January 2022. We're looking at December 2021's numbers, and it came in at 7%. Ooh, can we breathe for a second? Breathe. 7% inflation. Told you so? Yeah, told you so. Back last year, we were talking about inflation in spring of 2021. We were talking in the context of FIST stimulus. Let's just take a jump forward for FIST stimulus for just a second. Remember, for FIST stimulus, a body of legislation they seek to do in early 2022, right now, seeks to remove the current benchmark for determining how to increase your benefits year after year. Your current benchmark is COLA. And your current benchmark of COLA is assessed every approximately December and November each year for the next year. COLA is a horrible benchmark. Why? Because it never moves. It's never moved year after year after year, while it's cost you more to live. Why did COLA suddenly come in at 5.9% this last year? Because inflation was much higher, so it finally brought COLA a little bit higher. Now, I've been covering this fifth stimulus since summer of last year. And at the time, I was talking about inflation because they seek to replace COLA as your benchmark with inflation as your benchmark, so that every December or November of each year, they look at the inflation number and assess you. Remember, once you go up, you never go down. So at the time, last summer, I said inflation may be about, I initially think I said 8%. Jeremy Siegel of Wharton School of Business professor said 20%. I said that was too high. Then Jay Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, said it was going to be 2%, transitory. What does that mean? Temporary. And he had a graphic. He said it was going to go up in December and come back down by January. And I said, I think I'm on the high end, but I'm going to stay there. And I felt peer pressure, really inflationary peer pressure. I thought I was too high, so I reassessed my number down from 8% to 5%. And I ran 5% as my predictor on this channel for several months, from almost summer to fall of last year. Suddenly, you started to see that my number was really more on point when I said 8%. And I said, you know what? I should not have gone from 8 to 5. I should have stayed at 8. Well, we now know that came in at over 7+ % last month. So I was right on point. It was not going to be 2% in December 2021. As Jay Powell had said, it was going to be right about where LALATE said, about 7 to 8%. And it's not transitory. It's not temporary. It will go down, but it ain't going down just yet. Now, here's something important for you to know. This is very, very critical for you to know because it impacts your wallet, impacts your socials, your spending, your retirement, your benefits if you're on Social Security, SSI or SSDI, if you're a single business owner or anything across the board. We have new issues. And the new issues are, we had always talked about inflation on this channel since last summer, all the way until Thanksgiving, based upon what was going on. Those events of what was going on was creating its own inflation. And those events were couldn't get truck drivers, couldn't pick up things at the port, couldn't get the merchandise to the stores, it was supply chain issues. You understand that. When Omicron came in around Thanksgiving, we did not think Omicron was going to create its own inflationary event. It is now clear in the last very few days, 7 days, 2 weeks, that Omicron is now creating its own inflationary event. And that when I say its own inflationary event, it doesn't mean there's another inflation. It's just it's creating inflation itself on top of the already inflationary concerns we have. What's at issue? It's very, very simple. And people have asked me my opinion, asked me what's going on, asked me my insight. A lot of this is personal opinion, but I also want to give you economic analysis across the board. In Los Angeles, where people have always been very gauged on taking care of our health, health professionals who are triple vaccinated, aka 2 shots and a booster, are getting Omicron. Staffs are out 30%. You go to a doctor's office, 30% of the staff is out, and they are triple vaccinated because they've got an Omicron. You go to a testing site for COVID now, the lines are around the corner and down the street. It is absolutely out of control. So what does that mean for economic data? What it means is that they can't get, business can't operate like they would normally do at capacity. And the examples are the supermarkets. Supermarkets are now reporting across the country, the top three supermarket chains, they can't get the merchandise from the farms to the truck, from the truck to the store, from the store to the shelves, and from the shelves to the paper or plastic in your supermarket cart. They can't get it. And because of that, that's causing supply chain disruption, that's causing inflation, raising the prices up. So this is a very big issue across the board. Does this help fourth stimulus recon? It does. Does it hurt it? It doesn't hurt it. So this situation is far from over, and it's going to continue across the board. All right, let's go now. Pivot to another related subject about this fourth stimulus recon. We have new data about this today. It's brand new, and this is the voting that Chuck Schumer has teed up for just a few days from now. What is this voting? What does it mean? And how does it impact the fourth stimulus recon? It's a little bit confusing. I'm going to try to make it as simple as I can because it is not directly on point. It is a series of steps that result in another step. So what's at issue? Chuck Schumer and the White House want to get legislation passed easier in the Senate. He's the majority leader of the Senate. Among the provisions they want to get done easier is the Build Back Better Act, your fourth stimulus recon. The way they get them done easier is by modifying the Senate rules. Which Senate rule at issue? A lot of them, including the Senate filibuster rule. How do they get those rules changed? By causing, how would you say it? By causing a vote on something else and saying, you're bothering me on this vote, so let's now change the rules. Sounds strange? Yeah. Sounds staged? Yes. He admits it's staged. Let's only explain what's going on. Nancy Pelosi in the House is passing a voting right initiative legislation, sending it over to Chuck, and the Senate, voting rights legislation. Then Chuck is going to be calling that for a vote. This is all plotted out. It's sort of like a drama. It's sort of like a reality show. They already plotted this out. It's in the next few days. Chuck is going to call for a vote in the Senate. He's going to have the Republicans block it because he expects them to block it. And then he says, you know what? You're blocking it. I'm going to call to change the Senate rules so that we can pass this legislation, aka every legislation behind it, easier. And this is going to be real dramatics, and it's happening in just a few days. A little confusing, yes. One step, then another step, then another step, yes. Something that is very, a vote and then check goes out. No. It's not as simple as a vote and then check goes out. It is basically, you're causing me problems, Republicans. I want to fix things. I'm going to set you up by having you block something. And then after you try to block it, then I'm going to change rules because you're causing me problems. It's sort of like if you went to grade school and there was a bully that bullied you in school and you wanted the principal to see the bully bullying you, and you couldn't get the principal to see it, you said, you know what, principal, come to recess today because this bully always bullies me at recess. I know this is a very bad example because I'm basically calling Republicans bullies, but I'm not. I don't intend to do that. My apologies. But that's sort of the example. He's trying to set it up so that you can see the event, and then he says, when the problem occurs, then we're going to respond to it by changing the rules. So Chuck Schumer had some quotes yesterday. He had some quotes brand new today. We all believe that this is happening in the next 7 days based upon Chuck's comments. Let me go to his new comments today. They're a little bit much the same as last night's comments, but we have a little bit more clarity. Senate Democrats will vote on the voting, will call vote on the voting rights bill next week. Republicans are expected to block it. The Democrats will consider changes to the filibuster once the Republicans try to block the Voting Rights Act. You want me to go over that again? Yeah, that's confusing. So Chuck will call vote on the Voting Rights Act. The Republicans are set to block it. Then the Democrats will call vote to change the Senate rules to change the filibuster. And this will allow the Democrats going forward to pass things like the recon even easier. Here's the comment. Here's the written statement issued by Chuck Schumer late last night. I did not have it on Eating to Life because it came, I think, in after that live show. And that was a lot of fun. That show was an hour long. Here's the comment by Chuck Schumer you're hearing for the first time on Mornings right now. Make no mistake. The U.S. Senate will, for the first time, this Congress debate voting rights legislation beginning on Tuesday. So this coming Tuesday. So we're just a few days away. Members of this chamber will be elected to debate and to vote particularly on an issue vital for the being and heart of our democracy. And we will proceed. Very, very important across the board. The strategy is to have it teed up so that Democrats will need at least 10 Republicans to pass more legislation. Here's more of the reactionary quotes. And I know Sinema is giving this sort of these negative quotes in reaction. She said last Thursday, eliminating the 60 vote threshold on a party line with the thinnest of possible majorities to pass the bills that I support will not guarantee that we prevent demagogues from winning office. What does that mean? Don't really know. It's just sort of like word salad. I like her. I like Manchin as well, but that quote makes it's like a word salad. It doesn't really say anything. Uh, it's like she's running the marathon from the quote. So Chuck Schumer also said this, the Senate will finally vote on the right legislation. Every senator will be faced with a choice of whether or not to pass the legislation to protect our democracy. Ben Cardin says, I really don't know what the leader's thinking at this stage. He's not shared this with us. We have a lot of input on it. I certainly will let him know my views. So it's very dramatic. I mean, Sir Loin would love this one. It's very dramatic. I don't think people know what Chuck Schumer is going to do because he's not telling them. It's a lot of dramaticness, and it all is starting this Tuesday. So you got to tune in. I know it feels like a cliffhanger. I know it feels like I'm plugging the channel, but you got to tune in this Tuesday because this is big, and it's big for the recon. Because if this works, then it makes the recon easier to pass. If it doesn't work, it doesn't hurt the recon, but it is huge. Joe Manchin, when asked about the situation, says, good meetings, good discussions. I have no answers at all because he says, I'm not in charge of this. This is Chuck Schumer's doing. A lot of details across the board. With that, let me go over everything else that you need to know. Third stimulus, because I'm running, I want to wrap it up. First, I want to give you guidance for the rest of the day. My hope is to make as many recordings live or taped as I can. But because of scheduling, because I'm still being followed up now after being released for 3 weeks in hospitalization, it's sort of problematic as to when I can get into this chair and record. So clearly this show is a little bit earlier today. So I will give you a heads up when I go on air. There will definitely be a new afternoon. There will definitely be a new show later today. There may be 2 new shows later today. I do not know if I'll be back on air by noontime, and maybe I will. But just watch for those LA alerts, watch for the member alerts, and you will see me when I'm back on air. And when you see this set, then you'll know it is, or these poinsettia plants, you'll know it's new programming. And then when you don't see them and you see sort of the orchids and the Christmas decorations, you know it is an encore performance. Let's turn to third stimulus for just a blink of an eye, because I want to go over that as well. Third stimulus, what's important to understand is that you need to get another round of this big money because that third stimulus is still available across the board. It seems surprising, but it is. Third stimulus has about $45,000 of checks paid out to viewers since last year. And if you got money before, get another round. I see a lot of people in the live chat who have gotten third stimulus 1 or 2 times before. I think I saw Lynn in the live chat. Yeah, there is Lynn. I see April. I see Shirley. I see Crayola. I see a lot of people there's Monica. I see a lot of people I know who've gotten third stimulus. You can get another round. So let's go over the details of this. First, this time, when you're getting another round, you want to get as far forward as possible. I'm going to give you sort of broad stroke applications because of running time right now. I want you to get as far forward as possible. So if you call up and you start with where you got it before, try to get into March, try to get into April, try to get 3 or 4 months of it. If they say we're out of money, then lean on the nonprofits. Now let's go to those nonprofits. There's 6 of them featured for members in the newsletter. Comes out 7 p.m. every night. The nonprofits are replenished with funds in about January 2022, January each year, because their benefactors, their donors, have generally work on a calendar year. So they have a new replenishment of funds. So if you are, I had someone who was in the state of Louisiana send me a beautiful message last night. He's either Louisiana or Alabama, says State Housing Authority ran out of money. I said, lean on the nonprofits because I do know they do it in Alabama and Louisiana. Lean on those nonprofits and get it as far forward as possible. Get the rent, get the utilities, get the mortgage assistance, and get as many of these sums as money as far forward as possible. If you got this money in December, as we called it, the Christmas third stimulus, uh, get it again, because that was October, November, December. You can get it now for January to March. Start with where you started last time. They don't have it, go to another organization. Get those big sums of money across the board. With that, I really want to thank you for all your incredible kindness in my absence. Your incredible messages sent to me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm trying to get to each of them one at a time still. If I haven't responded to you, I will get to each of you personally with a personal message to thank you for all your incredible messages. Second, if you have success stories for third stimulus in the last week or month, send it to me. If I not respond by saying thank you or wow or congratulations, send it again. I may have missed it. It's sort of hard to keep track of the social media comments, because some of them are sort of being held in, were being held in sort of a zone. I'm like, oh, there's messages here. I didn't know that there were messages there. So I'm trying to get to all of them. Number two, I want to thank everyone for your kindness on Evenings LA last night. It was, I did not think I was going to be able to go live on Evenings LA last night. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I'm less than a week out of the hospital, and going live is different than going taped. This is a very big production studio. You've never really seen the back side of it. You see the front side. You see me on camera. It's a big production studio. It's broadcast quality. I built it out. I did everything myself. And yet, if I don't know where a clip is, if I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do that, then it looks sort of foolish. And if you do it live and you're making a fool of yourself, it causes sort of, a little self-anxiety. Before I went on air, I told Crayola and Dragon, I said, go after anyone that starts to say, why is his graphic wrong? Right? Because that gave me my level of just get the whip and start whipping anyone that has anything like that. But boy, you were so kind last night. You were absolutely so kind. And we had a blast. It was 1 hour long. Needless to say, I got to wrap it up right now. But I will see you back throughout the day. And as always, stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful morning. Stay here, stay focused. I will see you throughout the day. And I'll give you a heads up when I'm back on air. And there'll be both encore shows, new shows, live and tape. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with Ally for more.